Okay, where are we and what we're doing? Well, Daisy, as normal, I'm down in Belosa, but I'm in the same TeamSpeak server as Brian Hicks. Brian Hicks is one of the developers for Bohemian Interactive. So this isn't exactly an interview, we're just mucking about, we're just talking, but the guy's on channel, so the other voice you hear will be Brian Hicks. Okay, mate, I've just done my intro. And we is here now. Don't make a liar of me. Say something.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm doing several things at once. So if there's a delay on the response, it just means somebody's yelling at me in Skype.
That's fine. That's not a problem. We understand and we accept. Ooh, sorry, I've just seen something I want. So yeah, we're Brian's working. He is actually at work. This is Friday evening. 9 o'clock in the evening, and it's probably 10 o'clock in the Czech Republic, and he's still in the office.
That sounds about right.
All for you guys, so you can play this lovely game. Now, of course, me being completely unscripted as normal, I don't actually have any bloody questions for you, but I suppose I could start with generic ones. You guys have been really busy, I understand, since the release. Is there, were you surprised at all by the amount of sales of the pre-alpha?
Well, I'd say yes and no. I came from kind of the AAA publisher working in the very popular side of indie gaming, I think Minecraft and that kind of stuff. So, on one hand, I was used to numbers like this, but you can never really tell, because it's been, let's say, almost 2 years, maybe a year and a half-ish, since, say, the peak of the mod's popularity. And there's a lot of survival kind of survival simulator games out there, and a lot that touch on zombies. So I just wasn't sure if the market was genuinely there.
Whether or not it had been saturated?
Yeah. Plus the console launches, two new console launches. The attention is really all over the place.
Yeah.
So I honestly wasn't sure. I knew we would be successful in terms of making our money. That wasn't the issue. It was what really caught me off guard was the number of sales and the amount of time. We crossed the million mark in less than 30 days. Yeah,
that's pretty damned impressive. And of course, you can see the back-end data. You know how long people are playing, the amount of hours people are putting in. Is that also equally as impressive, or is it people buying it, playing it, and walking away?
I'd say within that first month, it was definitely impressive. I mean, we skyrocketed up the Steam charts for concurrent players and time spent. I'd say it's kind of leveled off as, folks, they put that initial investment in, and they realized that we were not kidding when we said that this is an early access alpha, true all the way through. I mean, we intentionally put out there, don't buy the game. It's not ready for it. Only chime in if you want to be an active participant of this early development phase and be there to see the game come to shape. And either people didn't read it or people support us. Either way, it was an overwhelming show of interest in the title. And now we've got a lot to live up to.
Yeah, I mean, it's a case of the delivering. I mean, it helps when things like Rocket does AMAs on Reddit, and that actually makes it into the mainstream, or shall we say, the more mainstream gaming websites. Oh, hang on.
Oh yeah. I think something ended up on the Drudge Report, which is way outside of gaming. The AMA that Dean did, I was watching the AMA page subreddit on Reddit, and the top of the subreddit above Schwarzenegger's AMA that he had done, I don't know, 12 hours prior, So that was fascinating. I loaded up Reddit.com without being signed in to see what it showed up, and I think at the time I saw it was number 2 article on the front page of Reddit. So yeah, it definitely got attention.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, I hope he didn't say anything nasty about me in there. I didn't have time to read.
God, who has time to read all of Reddit? Oh, you just dip in and out. I mean, it was crazy time prior to the release, and of course, when we were involved in the pre-alpha, and Reddit was saying things, and we couldn't say anything. God, I've signed NDAs before. It has never been this painful. Ooh, sorry, I've just found another M4, and this one's actually got a backside. And it's pristine. Yeah, I was saying I have signed NDAs in the past for various different games that I've been involved with in beta testing or alpha testing, and never has it been quite so painful to sorry, I'm busy trying to do things whilst I play and talk. Yeah, never has it been so painful to be part of a something and not be able to say anything.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Considering how close my ties are to the YouTube and Twitch Dayz communities, having these people constantly ask me questions or complain about something or be curious about something, especially before release, where I couldn't say anything. Like, I couldn't even. I had. I don't know if you're aware of him, but there's a Twitch streamer by the name of Stoma Plays. He's a former roommate of mine, good friend for years. We started playing Dayz together, and he's asking me before the holidays if he should go home for Thanksgiving or stay, because it's very important to him that he stream when the game goes live. And he knows I can't tell him that, because that in and of itself would be an admission that yes, we intend to release in the next few days.
It's so painful, isn't it? Because of course I've got friends who love Dayz. I must admit, there are a handful in the clan I'm in. I make no bones about the fact that there are some of the guys in the clan that simply don't get it. They do not understand the fascination I have with Dayz. And hang on, I've got a zombie to deal with here. He's going to get a fire axe to the back of the neck. By the way, sneaking up on zombies and fire axing them to the back of the neck, I'm still not entirely sure that's a good thing, but anyway. What I was saying...
Yeah, the zombies, I don't... Shit, speaking of zombies, I'm being beaten on right now. I don't mean to distract you from what you're saying, but yeah, the zombies are they're going to require a bit more reworking on our end.
Yeah, I got spotted by one at about 300 meters, maybe 250. And I thought, that's a bastard. I've come to the old days, you used to sneak around them, you know, like crouch walk, nice and quiet, nice and bollocks. No, if they see you, they see you. If they don't, they don't. I must admit, once you got the fire axe, zombies really aren't that much of a bother, which I don't ever want to see. I want to see zombies to be mean, nasty bastards that can kill anybody, however many hours you're into your character. So
there's a middle ground there, obviously. I mean, we want the fire axe to be rare, because it only makes sense for a brutal weapon like that to be that dangerous. The hell, that zombie to be that dangerous. So yeah, it's all gonna.
As I say,
itself out.
maybe the fix comes with the behaviour, as it stands at the moment. Because what happened just then, whilst I was doing this and talking to you, was there was a zombie, had his back to me. I ran up, slapped him in the back of the neck with a fire axe, and that was that. He didn't respond to me. He didn't hear me. But then you get another zombie who is in line of sight of you, who will latch onto you from over 150, 200 meters away. which is so very different from the zombie behaviour in the mod, because the zombie behaviour in the mod was, well, if they were looking at you and they were within about 100 feet, but more importantly, if you made a noise. They were so sensitive to noise, where these zombies don't appear to be that sensitive to noise. They don't all come running when you fire a loud weapon and such like.
True, true. Like Dean's been quoted saying, the zombies, unfortunately, are a fairly complex and ongoing process, which means that they're going to be one of those things that we're constantly working on trying to improve. But I think nobody here would debate the fact that the state they're at right now, we've got a lot of work ahead of us to get them where they need to be.
It definitely isn't a zombie horror survival game. It's a survivor horror survivor game.
Oh, I would agree. I would agree. It's definitely about the more about the player versus player right now than the player versus environment. But fortunately, we have the systems in where you have to maintain your character's health and general stability to continue to remain alive. So there's a certain element of player versus environment there right now.
Oh, and to be honest, that's what I play for. And anyone who's used to watching my videos knows that, you know, I find a tin, I eat it. And it's all about getting that healthy status sat on the top of your little character player model. Although I did notice this one, it says you are healing, which I liked, because I got tapped by a zombie, and then within a couple of minutes, because I was healthy, I got the you are healing. That's nice. Feedback like that is good. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things happening over here. Obviously, I don't want to give too much stuff away, but at the I guess the low-hanging fruit is I know that the next time we push out an update, it of course will have another weapon, probably some new structures. We should have loot spawning inside the new buildings that you may have discovered if you went to Svetlo, the new city just north of Bergino on the coast, which is interesting. A little bit of trivia that Senchi, our lead map designer, was telling me about. Is correct me if I'm wrong here, Senchi. Chernogorsk, is black? Cherno, black, and Svetlo, right, is white. So Cherno, you know, it's all about the original Dayz mod experience. Was all about Cherno for cities on the coast. And this new city, Svetlo, far away from. Oh no! Did my team speak or the server went down? One of the two.
TeamSpeak is fine. Server, no message. That's strange because this. Oh well, but yes, we got the black and white thing going.
Well, it appears to be. What? It's back up.
And it's back up again.
Okay.
That was a server blip. Coughing my guts up here.
Anyways, yeah, Cherno's black and Svetlo, the new city, is white, and it's definitely for those that go up there, they'll realize it. I'd say it rivals Electro in size and scope.
Well, I mean, I've done
police
lots.
Station.
Yeah, the police station with
the hospital or the medical center. I should say.
Yeah, I've seen the police station with the circular centre. I've spent quite a lot of time up in the north. All of those roads, damn, whoever did the maps, they went road crazy. There are roads upon roads, and that looks extremely interesting when that goes. Servers playing tits again. Yeah, that whole area, the top 20% of the map, although there is no more map than there ever was, the old map, it was pretty boring because it was just trees and valleys and that was it. Now there's a big valley through it. There's the railway line. There are roads. There you can see when you run around the area that there's like parts of the ground where you can see houses are going to go, because there's like the scorch marks. If you're like an archaeologist looking at scorch marks in yeah. Anyway, it looks like it's going to be really interesting up there. Really densely, really dense. It looks exciting.
Yeah, I don't want to speak too much about plans that the map team have, but I think that they're going to do some pretty amazing stuff up north. And I've been watching Senchi place some of the new structures and some of the traditional regions and towns in Chernar. So you'll see some of that show up as we start to.
Now, obviously, I'm not going to want to tease things out of you. Obviously, that's not it. Here's a technical thing: when you make map changes, does that mean the update is really, really big?
Yes, yes. When the map is repacked, the update size does greatly increase.
Yeah, I can imagine it does. Now, here's another thing. Now, I remember reading something up about our friends over at Dayz and Battlefield, and they were describing a situation that was not uncommon within the gaming industry. Every time you release a patch, it becomes more complicated.
Oh, of course.
And each time you release a patch, because there is a difference between... I don't know the correct technical terms for this, where you've got the game, you compress it down and release it, and every time you attempt to make an alteration, it makes it more difficult, and to the point where a game like Battlefield, for instance, they were saying, I remember Dayz were saying that there are a limited number of patches that they can make, which is possibly the problem they've got with BF4 right now, but that's another issue. Now, Armour games, or Armour-based games from Bohemia, have always been a little more modular. Does this mean you can continue to do patches and upgrades? In other words,
oh yeah, yeah.
You don't have that limitation.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's spoken on this, but Bohemia has. How do I put this? Because we haven't finished our roadmap, but I'd say Bohemia has plans and intent to continue development of DayZ for at least the next 10 years, I believe.
Wow. I mean, I've been playing Bohemia interactive games, I think, for around 6 or 7 years. I came a little late to the party. I started with Armour 1, and it's always been hang on, get my teeth around this. And in an iteration, in other words, it has always been a continuation of what came before it. I must admit, 10 years. Wow, that's impressive. And of course, when the modders get hold of DayZ, things are really going to get exciting.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm sure a little part of me will die inside because having been a part of the DayZ mod community, I know some of the directions that they can take are completely opposite to the intent of DayZ. But you got to allow for people to take their own interpretation and hope that most players stick to the survival side of it and not go too far in the combat side.
Yeah. Well, seeing as I have just managed to rejoin a server and it's bloody night time, and thee and me have been chatting for a while, we'll wrap this one up, and I'll thank you very much for spending some time talking to me on whilst I look at a black screen with stars. Ooh, there's the moon. Always looks pretty. And thank you very much, Brian Hicks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for watching, boys and girls. A little unexpected, but that's how it goes sometimes.